So I wanted to put my beautiful Nexus 6P up against the latest from Samsung, the Galaxy S7, checking out how the camera and speed does perform. Now the Nexus 6P, is a lot more affordable than the Galaxy S7, and does it provide the similar kind of experience here, both 12 megapixel camera? That's what I wanted to find out basically. So we can just start off here, turn them both off, and then booting them both on at the same time, roughly. And then we'll just boot them both on. So you can see here the Nexus 6P actually takes ages to shut down and then be available again. Kind of gets lost in no man's land. Whereas the S7 straight in there. I do really enjoy actually the speed of Samsung devices nowadays. There's just no faffing, it's just straight in there. But then again, you do get more, I think, security benefits with the Nexus program, faster updates, encryption. So we are basically running the up-to-date software here on the Nexus. So we are running the Android Nugget versus Android Marshmallow. So I wanted to see how that compared as well. I think it's relatively stable here for doing this. So we can just open up some apps. And this is the Exynos Galaxy. And so far I see a significant improvement here when it comes to the speed on the Galaxy. And literally every app it seems to open up faster here, which is nice. Just check a game as well, a camera. About the same. I think we have Modern Combat. Oh dear. So the S7 just messed up there, and that is not what you want to see. We can just check another game just to make sure that was a one-off. Lara Croft. Wow, that was a lot faster on the S7. So you can see, apart from the minor glitch there was a little bit faster performance, I think, really. If we're to be honest, day to day. And we can have a look at the speed test here and see the Wi-Fi. So both are connected to the same Wi-Fi. And it's early in the morning, so we get some nice speeds. No one's using it, probably already all lying in. It is the weekend, and very nice speeds with the Snapdragon 810 as usual. Exynos 8, I think 8890. Can see some killer speeds here when it comes to the speed test. I did actually notice when downloading the apps for this test, everything downloaded nearly instantly, like the games, etc., on the S7, which is amazing. So definitely improvement there, really. We can just have a look at the web browsing as well. So we'll use Samsung's web browser versus the stock one see if we can see any differences. So we'll just check out, how about something that I've not been on for a while, WWE. So go. So Nexus seemed to resolve the page a bit quicker. Allow, and we'll just go to the website. But going into it was, I think, faster here on the right, which is nice. What about UFC? UFC. Yeah, go. So again, you know, the search seems to be a bit quicker on the Nexus, but going into it faster on the S7. So maybe that could be because it is a Google phone. They've got some nice optimization when it comes to the search or something. Who knows? Just going to do a traditional website, The Verge. Go. Again, you can see very fast to search something. And going into it about the same this time on both of them. So that is pretty nice. And I have to say, there's not really a massive difference in terms of the screen technology here, even though some people complain about the 6P being a bit pink. I'd say this is a bit cooler, but the actual, you know, resolution, etc., not a massive difference, to be honest. So if you're looking for an improvement to the screen, probably you're not going to find too much of an improvement, really. So you can have a look now at the multitasking comparison here between these two. Big lag there when it came to your new multitasker. So we do get the ability to do multi-window on the new Android N, but the actual performance seems to be a little bit mixed here compared to the Galaxy, which has rectified its nonsense. And if you ask me, you know, it provides a nicer experience when it comes to the software at the moment, really. A bit more eye candy, and you get your, you know, benefits of the multitasking, which has been on since like the old Notes. So I think stock Android is playing a bit of catch up here with TouchWiz, really, but nevertheless we can have a look at the camera comparisons here. So we can see, you know, how they compare. And I'm not sure if the pictures are still on the Nexus, because I did have to relock the bootloader, which does wipe the device, but I did take the pictures on the 6P and also the S7. So, you know, you can have a look at some of the pictures that we did take here, and as I expected, actually the S7, not a massive difference from the 6P when it comes to daylight shots, both taking about the same kind of quality pictures, really. I think the HDR is a little bit brighter than the HDR Plus on the Nexus, and when you're in the low light there's a little bit less grain because of that high aperture 1.7. but then again, you know, it's not something that would make me run out and, you know, abandon the Nexus 6P in terms of a massive improvement. I think the improvement from the S5 to the S6 was a bit bigger. You can also have a look at the video recording comparison, again very comparable here. So, if you ask me, if you're coming from a 5X or a 6P, you're not going to notice a massive difference, if we're to be honest, in terms of the camera quality. Yes, it'll be a little bit better, but probably not worth the premium that you're going to pay for the phone. But where it is better, in my opinion, is in terms of the software. Like, it feels more mature, the Galaxy, as well as some of the other things, such as the build quality compared to the 5X. The 5X feels like a cheap toy. But this does feel like, next gen refinement of the S6, which is already a beautiful device. In terms of the battery life, I found it to be a modest improvement, not massive really. I think the 6P is still a lot stronger because of the bigger capacity battery. So that if that battery is your thing, you might want to bear that in mind. Both of them obviously coming with the ambient display technology now, which I think is roughly comparable here. So I have really enjoyed using this technology on the Nexus when it can be bothered to come on. Sometimes it doesn't come on, but we do have that on Samsung now, so that is nice. I think the general kind of software features here on Android are quite interesting really. I am looking forward to getting the final release here. I think Samsung could definitely take some steps here as well from some of these ideas, like showing you the date, like the information, as opposed to not showing them on the settings screen, which is nice. So yeah, just a quick little comparison here between the 6P and the S7. If you've got any questions, do let me know, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.